go ahead and hit. All right. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Paperboy Pedal Town Hall. I'm Brian Russell, the league director, and we are here to talk about the upcoming weekend and what a way to end the level up season, going into an unprecedented sixth event in a season for the North Carolina League and our championship weekend. So, just like any town hall, we are here to give everyone here, student athletes, coaches, parents, an overview of what to expect for the weekend. And you will find that our format for the weekend is fairly familiar to you. The broad construct is about the same, but we do have some special things lined up for championship weekend, and we want to talk through those and answer any questions you might have about those. We'll do this town hall in three parts. We'll talk about arrival, what to expect when you get to the venue, and how to find what you're looking for. And we'll pause, answer any questions about that. And then part two, we'll talk through Saturday's schedule, some of the programs, activities, and the course inspection. And then part three, we will talk about Sunday, the race schedule, and things going on for race day. And at the end, we will pause to make sure we've got all questions answered. I am joined by several members of the league staff tonight, like always, just to make sure, again, your questions are answered and everyone's coming into the weekend with a good expectation of what's going on and just a great way to close out the season. So with that, let me share my screen just like we always do. We hope, we try best we can to answer all of your questions through the website and the event flyers and the team snap notifications and the like. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Where can you find information about this upcoming weekend? Go to our main website, go to the What's Happening link at the top, click on Event Weekends, and then scroll down to here we are. We've made it all the way to level 6 in Danville, Virginia. We're going back to Anglers Park. They give us a great reception there. As you all know, if you've been there before, tons of trail, tons of things to do there. That's part of the reason we go to Danville. And yes, it is kind of ironic. We're doing the North Carolina State Championship in Virginia, but hey, it's a great venue and they're happy to have us. So click on that. And here you go. You can find pretty much all of the information you're looking for. And we will click on a couple of these links as we go through the meeting to show you what's coming up for the weekend. In a minute, I'll click on the event flyer. That's a two-pager. I think if you're going to print out one thing for the weekend, that's the thing to do. Gives you the schedule for all 3 days, gives you the race schedule on the second page. I'm going to let Sean, when we get to Saturday, talk about the race course setup for the weekend. That's one of the changes for championship weekend. We've got a couple different courses depending on what category you're doing. You can get a preview of both of those right on the website. We've got a ride with GPS file for you to take a look at to see what those courses are. As always, we can't do this without our volunteers. I'm sure we have spots open. We'll give Jenny an opportunity to speak here in a couple minutes about what some of those openings are. And please, if you haven't already, sign up for that. Camping, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. We still have some spots open for camping there. And then by tomorrow, the race results link will be live. And by late Friday, maybe early Saturday, we'll get our call-up list up and running. And then over here, you can click on this and get to the venue map. But I'm actually going to go to the event flyer just to show everyone what that looks like. Very familiar to you at this point in the season. Again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. Roll down to page 2. There's the schedule for the race on Sunday. But just in terms of what to expect when you get there, you can click on that Anglers Park link and it takes you also to the venue map. So let me give everyone just a quick intro to what to expect when you come into the venue on Friday. If you're coming in camping late that afternoon or Saturday morning, no changes to arrival. You can click that Danville, Virginia link on the event flyer. It will bring you to this Google map chip right here. Take that left on a Northside Drive and you come in here all the way down to the venue here. Let me mention a couple changes from the last time we were at Danville. As of like 2 minutes ago when I looked, we have 485 student athletes registered. That's about a standard number for us. We fit everyone in the parking area the last 2 times we've been at Danville, so we're not doing any shuttle this time. We ran a shuttle the past two events at Danville, and I think we had like a total of two people use it. So there's no shuttle at Danville. We think we have enough parking to accommodate you, but if in the off chance we get full, there is some overflow parking all the way back at the visitor center here for Danville, and you can self shuttle down. But I think we're going to be okay for this weekend. But I did want to mention that in terms of arrival when you get there. I think we have enough parking, but just in case, you're going to have to self shuttle in if we don't. In a minute or two, I'm going to turn over to Ben Harbor to give a venue overview. But let me check real quick. Brian Rabelais, were you able to dial in tonight to talk camping? If not, I will cover your points about camping real quick. I'm scrolling the participant list. I don't see Brian on the line. So let me cover his camping um, points. Brian Rabelais, camp coordinator, has done a great job this entire season. He has sent emails to all registered campers as of this morning, but let me reinforce a couple of those points here. Camping Friday opens at 4 p.m., so you're welcome to come in on Friday. Quiet time, and we want you to arrive by that camping site by 10 p.m. Please be there before 10 p.m. Quiet hours start at 10 p.m. And the way this league's run it now, if you're coming into camp on Friday and we still have open volunteer spots Saturday morning, hey, come help us out if you're already there. Come see Jenny first thing Saturday morning, see where you can help out uh, in whatever's going on, parking or infield setup. We're always doing some of those things Saturday morning. We still have some open spots. We've got some spots in site number 4, which is up at Dan Daniels Park. Up here, that's an RV spot up here in site 4. Still some open spots there, and a couple open tent spots up here in site 5. So we still have some camping available up there. And then as I scroll back down to the venue, just want to give a reminder to everyone, this site 2 for RVs and campers along that entrance road, that is not parking. Please do not park in that area when you come in. That is for campers. If you come in early Saturday and park there, you're probably taking someone's camp spot because we are full in site number 2. So that's an overview about camping. If you got any questions, throw them into the chat window. That's fine. We'll try and answer them the best we can. If we can't, we'll flip them to Brian Rabelais tonight and get this question answered to you by tomorrow morning. So with that, let me turn over to Ben Harbor. Ben, I've got the map up. If you want to give everyone an overview of the venue and what to expect in terms of parking zone and stuff, over to you, sir.
Yep, thanks, sir. So, welcome everybody. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. As you arrive and come down the main entrance to the park, as Brian mentions, the Site 2 camping will be on your left as you're coming in. You'll go all the way towards the end, and you'll see a parking attendant directing you into the field. When you turn right into the field, there'll be a paved greenway that you'll drive along. Please do respect our 5 mile an hour signs because people are moving in and about throughout there. The first thing you'll come to, just like we had in April or March, we had our pit zone set up first. So please drive your vehicle past pit zone, past the league trailer, and then go park your car and shuttle all your stuff back over to pit zone. There is not enough space for you to stop and unload your vehicles or trailers. Please drive them to our parking attendants. They will park you, and then you can unload and have your student athletes help you move your stuff to your team tent. The league trailer will be set up there. You'll see it right there in front of parking. The rows will be just similar to what we had. Teams may be moved around depending on how Jeff LeBlanc feels. He and his team of volunteers helped set up the pit zone map on the field. So it might not be the same as last time, might be close. It's be like a early Easter surprise for next year for you. So just find your team, set your stuff up, and then respect the parking. We will have two-way traffic, so people will be coming and going. So please be mindful of that. We will have the no walk your bike signs out and no parking throughout there. So be mindful not just to pick an end spot because it's convenient. Move it on down to the parking attendants and park where they ask you to. Other than that, it's typical infield. We'll have all kinds of activities for volunteers to help us with on Friday and Saturday. So look forward to seeing you there.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben, for that venue overview and the arrival. A couple more topics to cover before we go to the next section and talk through Saturday. Diane, anything for registration that we need to mention for the weekend?
So just a reminder to our coaches and student athletes, make sure student athletes that you have your race plate with you. If you forget it, make sure you come and see me Saturday. Also, coaches, if you can, please ensure that your student athletes have their race plates as well. And anyone who catted up has their race plate, and the student athletes are using the correct race plate as well. That's all I have, Brian. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Like I said, about 480 signed up so far. Registration, late registration, open through tomorrow night at midnight. So still time to sign up if you haven't already to come to Danville. And then last topic on arrival. Let's go to Jenny, our volunteer coordinator. Jenny, what do we need filled for the weekend? How can folks come and help out for the weekend?
Well, we have lots of spots open for Saturday and Sunday. We have some critical roles that need to be filled for Sunday to help us get the race started on time. But we have lots of availability for openings on Saturday as well. We have about 46% of our volunteer slots filled at the moment. We still have 128 open slots. So we will be happy to work with anyone's schedule wanting to watch their student. We can put them as crossing guards on Saturday or Sunday. With lots of spaces we can put parents, grandparents, friends, student athletes. They can sign up in the volunteer sign up or come see me Saturday morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Jenny. As I always say, best seat in the house is volunteering at one of these events to see the action up close and personal. So please, if you haven't already signed up and you're coming this weekend, please go to that link on the flyer and sign up for a spot. Okay, so that covers arrival. What to expect when you get there. And again, not too many changes from the last time we were at Danville. I do want to mention before we get to Saturday, we had a lot of discussion on the staff call earlier in the week, even last week, as we review all of our events and we're towards the end of the season reviewing all of our policies. We've never mentioned it in town hall, but I'll mention it here. The fact that we have a pet or dog policy in this league. This was implemented 2 seasons ago. It was my first race, as a matter of fact. I was at Browns Creek, and we had a dog poke his nose under the tape at the start line and caused a crash, caused a student athlete or two to crash. And I implemented a policy that says if you're bringing a dog to the venue, that dog has to stay 50 feet away from the race course at all times. It has to be on a 6 foot, no longer than 6 foot, non-retractable leash. So it's got to be a firm leash. We've seen some folks not abiding by that policy throughout the season. Please, if you're bringing a dog to Danville this weekend, keep it away from the race course and keep it on a not longer than 6 foot, non-retractable leash. I don't want to have to force folks off the venue if they're not abiding by that policy. But as I say a lot, my chief job in this league for our events is risk mitigation and keeping our athletes safe. So didn't mention it all season. Shame on me, but I'll mention it here and we will take a look at that going into this weekend at Danville for folks walking their dogs around. Keep them away from the race course and let's keep our athletes safe. Okay, so we'll pause and see if we've got any questions at this point about arrival to the venue. And I will mention, just like every other town hall, we're here, largely as a league to support our student athletes. And we still have, I've got them in front of me here, prizes from Fidlock and two from Cognitive to Be for the first three student athletes that asked questions tonight. Once I say the code phrase, and the code phrase for tonight is earned lap cutoff time. So the next time you hear me say that code phrase is when we'll open the field, so to speak, for those student athlete questions. And Shell will do the best job she can of capturing in the chat window which student athletes are asking 1, 2, 3, and we'll get those answered and award those prizes. So let's pause there. Does anyone have any questions about arrival to Danville, what to expect when you get there? And Shell, how are we doing in the chat window?
I think we're doing pretty good. It's all questions that I am sure we're going to answer in the call so far.
Okay, great. Yep, we've done this a few times. We know those answers are coming. So fair enough. Again, we will pause at the end of this town hall, make sure we have all questions answered. That's not a problem. Okay, so let's go to Saturday now, and I will display the event flyer again, just to give everyone an overview of what to expect Saturday. And the start of Saturday, really no changes from what we've seen all season. It's a little bit later in the day where we've got some changes, and we'll have those folks describe those as they come. But let's start with our programs activities for Saturday. Grit Teen Trail Corps Adventure. We've got some things lined up for you on Saturday. And Angie, were you able to dial in tonight and give everyone an overview of Grit activities for the weekend?
Hey, Brian, I'm here. Hopefully you guys can hear
Great.
me okay.
Yep. Go.
Hi, Angie Tabor, one of our grit committee members. Just want to welcome everybody to our championship event and let you know about what we're doing at the Grit tent this weekend. We are going to start checking people in at 10:45. Look for that red canopy tent with the Grit logo, and we'll get you checked in for the pre-ride, get your number so you know which group you're going out to ride with. There'll be activities basically all day at the tent. The couches will be out. Girls can come and hang out and just, meet the other ambassadors and senior ambassadors, talk about, your goals this season. We're really just going to celebrate the whole season at this final event. So we've got the end of season Grit Bash, and that'll be happening. Come get some food. We'll have some goodies, talk to your friends, celebrate. And then we'll also, just for the mentor program from 3 to 4, y'all can come out and we're going to have game hour, just board games, card games, yard games, and we'll enjoy some cupcakes. So we hope to see you at the Grit tent. And if you have any questions, feel free, let me know, let Shell know, and we will try to address those.
Awesome. Thank you, Angie. And just like Angie said, you got any questions, throw them in the chat window. We'll make sure we get to them, but great to see closing out the season with some great Grit activities. And as always, Grit's always first on the race course. So as Sean talks that through, should be pretty exciting for the girls to see the course is for the first time out there. Okay, let's next go to Teen Trail Corps. Dave Droke, what do you have lined up in the Teen Trail Corps area for this weekend?
Hey everybody, Dave Droke here, TTC committee member. Got a lot of things going on this weekend. First of all, like Brian said, thanks for all the volunteer work and everything this year. Getting to this deep in the season, this many events, it's really awesome. So there's no trail work at this particular event. You can see the information on the flyer that Brian has pulled up. We open at 11:30 on Saturday, and we'll close it at 5. And during that time, we've got yard games, as always, volleyball, backed by popular demand. We end up leaving that one up till late Saturday night. There's other yard games. We've got the hourly prizes that student athletes have earned, the water bottle, the t-shirt, and the gloves. We've got our giveaway prizes. If any student athlete has put in a ticket for any of our drawings, stop by the tent to see if you earned it or you won it last event. If we don't have those individuals stop by, we'll go stalk down their tents and give those prizes to their coaches. We've got modified rock crawlers that'll be out. I mean, you can call it rock crawlers ultimate if you want to. There'll be plenty of purple in the TTC tent this weekend. Like the rest of the races, we've got a tool hour. So if you're interested in cleaning, maintaining, sharpening the tools that we use for trail work, we can discuss how to use them, how to sharpen them, and you can help us do that. And as always, our TTC student athlete ambassadors will be there to talk to you. We've got more prizes to give away, to raffle away this at this event. We're just looking forward to a lot of engagement, a lot of fun, and we will be powered by Peeps and Sugar as per usual this season. So stop by, eat some candy, drop a ticket in for a flyer, and have fun over the TTC area as well. One thing, Brian, would you go back to the map and highlight the section that will show the section? If you were there last time, it's going to be in the same section as before, in that blue odd shaped. Yep, that's where Grit, TTC, and Adventure is going to be. We will are going to Grit TTC and Ambassador committee members are arm wrestling for the most real estate in that venue. So about 8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, you can come by and see who wins the arm wrestling competition and who gets the most space.
Based on a lot of feedback, this is our third time to Danville. I will just say we started with programs folks might remember way over here.
Yeah.
And it was hard to get to. So we've pulled that back closer to pit zone. So yeah, that should be a crowded area come Saturday. So Dave, Angie, and we're about to go to Bill. Thanks for setting that up for everyone on Saturday in that adventure area. Speaking of Bill, let's go to adventure. And what is lined up for this weekend in Danville, Bill?
Yeah, no, thanks, Brian. I'm excited to summarize that for everyone here. And really, but I do want to reiterate what Dave and you were just pointing out, that we are moving the adventure area over there next to the TTC and grit areas. Thanks for going back to the map to highlighting that. So we're excited to be next to our neighbors and just add to the fun in that area. Like it says on the event flyer here, the adventure area is going to open up at 11:30. So come on down. I do want to open with just a shout out to the student athletes who've come and made this a fun place all season, and also to our coach volunteers for supporting that. In addition to our usual on the bike and off the bike games, we're going to do something fun here this weekend based on the classic video game of Paperboy. It's going to involve some props of newspapers and satchels, and then we're going to utilize the Can Jam set that we've always had for part of this game. So it's going to be, I think, a fun experience for everyone to come and try out. I do have to admit, this is one video game I didn't play as much as a kid, so you're going to have to consult some other venerable adults, and by that I mean gray-haired adults, for any secret strategies or cheat codes that are involved there. But come check it out. It's going to be with the Paperboy game and the other activities in the adventure area. There's going to be lots of ways to win raffle tickets. So we look forward to giving away some swag based on the fun that everyone's having. Just as a quick reminder, for the adventure area, we do plan to do the raffle at the end of the day on Saturday. So we'll plan to do the raffle at around 4:30 p.m. there in the programs area. So if you get your ticket, make sure you're staying close attention to the time and come find out if you've won any exciting prizes. The other main thing I just wanted to highlight for Danville, part of why we love Danville as a venue, is it gives us a chance to have a fully dedicated adventure course. So we're stoked about doing that again. Brian, if you don't mind popping back over to the map real quick. It will be the same setup for those who got to experience the first time in Danville. So it's the blue line that showed in there. And in particular, if you don't mind zooming in on the spot for the check-in and check-out, if you go in next to the green flags, it's perfect. It's the Nike Adventure logo there. This is next to a bathroom facility. So it'll be the same process where teams come to check in and out for going into the course. There at that location, we'll have folks there to get you checked in. And then as a reminder, again, the adventure course is set up and intended to be coach-led. So all groups should be coach-led under our NICA ratios and features like that for being out on the course. If you don't mind zooming back out, Brian, for me, if you're kind of moving southeast from there, the light blue line, you start out along the race course and then it tucks in behind there to run you all the way out to the Crooked Stick Trail. And just to emphasize, the adventure course is about 5.5 miles in total length. You can see it as we zooms out there. It's intended to be done in a large clockwise direction, as it's being shown there by Brian along the way. We are going to add one cutout spot back in the kind of the middle of it so that folks who don't want to do the full 5.5 miles exactly, that'll be a clearly marked area that you guys can cut out the last or about one little over 1 mile of length of the trail if you're running short on time. The other thing I just want to highlight, as far as the fun of the end of the season, we're going to place a bunch of Easter egg props out on the adventure course for folks to try and find. Take a photo, bring it back, show it to the folks at the check-in and check-out. And you too can enter into the raffles for some of those prizes that we were talking about earlier. It is going to be a little time constrained, so if that works out for you for getting out on the course, that might help to getting your raffle ticket before the prizes on Saturday afternoon. We will keep the course open all the way till 5, and then we will also, excited, much like we did last time, we will open the adventure course back up on Sunday. It's the same rules as applied to Saturday. So again, a coach-led, intended to be coach-led, but it'll stay open on Sunday until 3 p.m. And then I know later on a Sunday schedule, Brian, you'll kick to other details about warm-up loop options, but this adventure course again is really meant to be go out coach-led for our teams. But I'm stoked. We're going to have a ton of fun this weekend. So I'll kick it back to you for where we go next, Brian.
All right. Thank you, Bill, to you and the entire adventure committee for setting up a lot of opportunities for our riders. Super good stuff. So now, if you haven't been paying attention at this point, this is definitely where you want to pay attention. There's some changes coming for the rest of Saturday's schedule. So I'm going to turn over to Sean Moore, who's going to describe the 2 race courses we have for Danville. And then because of that, a change to course inspection procedures. So Sean, over to you, and I will stop sharing my screen if you want to walk folks through the map.
Yes, I'm switching over as we speak. All right. There. So, a couple of things about the course just to start off will be that this infield area is going to be the same as it has been in the past. So that will remain unchanged. So I'm going to turn that layer off so that we can better see the race course itself. So I'm going to move this to the center of the screen. And so the main change that we have is in the wave schedule. And so this is very crucial to sort of understand. So this course number 1 that you see here, this is going to be for all participants of wave 1. And wave 1 at this race will be all 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade boys and girls categories only. So previously, wave 1 was everyone that did 1 lap, but now it is everyone that is middle school and 1 lap only. So 5, 6, 7, 8 girls and boys both will race this course. Much of it is similar to what we have done, except this time we will not include the little Pisgah finger here. And then the other deviation comes here, which is right before the rock garden. Instead of going towards the rock garden, you are going to go to the left and come down this trail and then hang a hard right and come back up and then end up back at that rock garden area that we've raced before and do that section so that the end of the course is much like what you are used to when you enter back into the infield area. So that's course number 1 for wave 1, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade boys and girls. Then wave 2 through 4, and wave 2 is the big change. Wave 2 is going to be JV2 and JV3 boys together. Everyone is going to do the second course for wave 2, 3, and 4. And that is the same as course number 1, but this time you do include the little Pisgah finger, which is that technical climbing section that you may have remembered from the first time we raced this season. And then you will do this addition of descent and climb back up to the rock garden and then back out to the exit into the pit zone area. All right. Are there any kind of questions about the course and the wave schedule? Because I know that's a little bit different from what we're used to.
Well, and the only thing I would add to that is that intersection and the new section comes after you go through the rock garden. And then the ride with GPS for both things you describe are on the website. If anyone wants to take a look at what they look like, distance and elevation, all that, they are on the website.
Thank you for that correction. It's hard putting it together in your head when you haven't been on it. Yes, Elise, would you like to add something?
I wanted to add that the creek crossing will be the same as 2024. It will not be like the one that we had earlier in the season. So we won't be doing that far north part and crossing the creek at that place. It'll be like last year where we go down to the creek sooner and go across earlier in the creek.
Right in this area, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand it back to you, Brian.
Sean, can you cover the course inspection schedule? Because there's a little bit of a change in particularly red and yellow flag because of the course change. Remember?
100%. So we've got a little slightly different schedule. So red flag is going to be 12:30 to 2 o'clock, and that's for all of our wave one. So that's 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade boys and girls. All wave one will go out under red flag, and then waves 2 through 4. So everybody normally that goes out under yellow flag plus JV3 boys, they will all go out under the yellow flag. So that way we have the ability to have the two separate courses, and you'll be able to pre-ride the course that you're doing under red and yellow conditions, respectively. And then the green flag is going to be a shorter period. It's only 1 hour, 3:30 to 4:30. We have some other activities that are going to be taking place after that. And so the same rules apply. Buddy system, stay with your buddy. If you leave with someone, you need to be with them at all times. No student athlete should be by themselves on course at any point. We definitely are, wanting everyone to be aware of that, so that if a league official sees you and says something to you, you understand that you're supposed to be with your buddy and not in that situation. And then the final lap for green flag conditions, you need to be headed out on your last lap prior to 4:30. So after 4:30, there's no more heading out.
All right. Thank you, Sean. And again, we probably need to say this a couple more times. And Sean, I'll know you'll cover this with the head coaches Saturday morning, but red flag is for wave one athletes. Yellow flag, waves 2, 3, and 4. That's a change, so we'll just keep hitting it again. It's different than what we've done all season, just a little bit, but we want to make sure everyone is aware of that. Okay, last thing for Saturday, and then we'll pause, see if we've got all of the Saturday questions answered. And that is this new event we're doing, which we're calling the Family and Friends Ride. So let me describe it, kind of what it is, and then I'll go to the map and show folks how we think it's going to happen. But we're doing this new activity on Saturday due to essentially high demand. We see what I think a lot of us call the littles all weekend, and that's the kids not of NICA age that are kind of waiting in the wings for their turn. They want to ride their bikes with their siblings or ride the bikes with the team. And I suspect there might even be some adults out there that want to ride with their team and experience this thing that we do on the weekends. And you know what? It's Mother's Day weekend. Maybe there's some moms out there that want to ride with their kids on Saturday. So we're going to do that late Saturday. Once we're done with green flag, we're going to give an opportunity for, again, kids not of NICA age, maybe parents that aren't a registered coach, to ride with their teams along the race course primarily. But I'll talk through a couple different options for the teams. So all the information about what we're doing is in this portion of the flyer, the Family and Friends Ride. What we need from everyone, if you are not a registered student athlete or a registered coach, we need you to register via TeamSnap and sign the participation waiver. And it doesn't matter if you've signed one of those before for try it out ride with your team or the one time. It's okay. I just need you to sign that waiver again to understand that you are incurring that risk of doing this ride. And then at 4:30, yours truly, me, I'm going to be at the start line and I'm going to look for each team that is organizing and leading their families through this ride. So I'll need a level 2 or level 3 coach from that team to organize and lead their parents, lead their kids that aren't registered Nike athletes through the race course. I'm going to look for a thumbs up that everyone has signed the waiver, and then within ratios 1 to 6, or if you have a sweep 2 to 8, go and enjoy the race course. So again, there's been a lot of call for, hey, let's get some of the other folks out riding with us. We're going to give it a shot this weekend, and it's all kind of a way to figure out how we do that. And I will tell you that NICA in North Carolina specifically is looking at how we get elementary age kids more involved in our league. And so I think this will be a good opportunity just to see how it goes. And Sean's already given me a high five for this great idea. Or you have a question that you want on the table.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to add. So I set up the registration in TeamSnap, and I just want to kind of clarify that the waivers that will need to be signed are not in TeamSnap registration. So you will get a follow-up email that kind of confirms your registration, and in that will be the links to the two different types of waivers that need to be signed. So one is for adults, and the other one is for minor participants. You will be able to do one registration with adult and minors all included. So that will be fine. And then you just sign those waivers, and we will be able to we will get the notification that the waivers have been signed and everything is good to go. Just wanted to make sure that that was clear for everyone.
All right. Yep. Thank you for the clarification, Sean. And let me just describe. Largely, we want the family and friends rides going on the race course because it's marked, because it's somewhat controlled by us. We know where folks are, and we don't want people going everywhere during the family and friends ride. But we know that might be a bit much for maybe some of the younger kids or some of the parents that aren't used to riding. So as you come on the race course, you've got several bailout points. As Little Pisgah Trail crosses this gravel road, you can come back down the gravel. Hey, I'm out there. It's a bit too much. We're going to come down the gravel road. The creek crossing that Sean and Elise mentioned. When you come, you're still on Little Pisgah. You get to the Greenway there. You come across the creek. Hey, we've had enough. Come on back down the Greenway. And then the course setters, thanks to James and Elise, are even thinking of a way. And we'll tell you this before you head out. There might be a way to start your ride right here at the on this new extension, and then just take it this way. And it's about a mile long ride. And then if you really are just looking for a chill pace ride, head out on the Greenway with family and friends and have a good time. So I think there's plenty of options for all ability levels here. I just ask everyone for your patience. This is new. We're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. Again, I'm sensitive to the kind of demand signal for this type of activity because it is super awesome. This is a very much, like it says, more kids on bikes. I really think it's more families on bikes, and we want to lean that way. I would just ask all the leaders in the league, really, this is not the time to go out and try and burn a hot lap. This is just a group ride. This is having a ton of fun out on the trail, and we want to make sure it's safe and it goes well so we can rinse and repeat going into future seasons. All right. So with that, that is Saturday. What questions does anyone have about Saturday? We'll pause and try and answer some of those before we move on to Sunday. And Shell, how are we doing in the chat window with Saturday type of questions?
Nona asked if they need to maintain ratios on the bailout options.
Ooh, that's a good question. Let us think about that and come back to you on that, Nona. Any other questions on Saturday that you see, Shell?
Abby Walker asks if kids can ride without their parents for the family and friends ride.
You're on mute, Brian.
Yep, thanks. Yeah, not a problem because that kid without a parent will be with a coach from your team, level 2 or level 3, leading the ride. And Sean, I almost see your foot like tapping on the ground. Let me reinforce again. Coach led means coach led. There's a coach in front of all these groups, not, hey, kids go right out in front and I'll catch up with you before. So yeah, Abby, not a problem if the kid does not have a parent that wants to ride, can be part of that group that is coach led. Not a problem.
Can you clarify the length of the course for 7th grade girls?
4.3 miles is our estimate of that course length right now. Same course length as the first Danville for that category, just different course.
I think that's all.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Sunday.
Hey Brian, isn't 7th grade girls 3.7? Yes. It's saying course 1 is 3.7 and course 2 is 4.4.
Are you looking at the ride with GPS files?
Yes.
Those do not include the infield portion. They
Roger
start
that. Thank you.
on the trail. Yeah. So it's 4.3 for course 1 and about 4.9 for course 2 when you put the infield back in there. Okay, let's go to Sunday. And hey, Sunday, not just a race going on. It's actually Mother's Day on Sunday. And so I think this is also a first for our league, doing a race on Monday. So let's turn it over to Diane LeBlanc. We're going to do some things to recognize our NC NICA moms on Sunday. And Diane, I'll pull up the flyer for that. And why don't you give everyone an overview, particularly for the moms? Hey, you're coming for the weekend, hanging out with your kid, all types of awesome. What to expect?
Okay, thanks, Brian. So, I am working as the special events coordinator this year, and I have had the joy of putting together this mom appreciation for this Sunday, Mother's Day, along with the team that's we're working together on this. First of all, moms, you're going to want to stop by the registration tent and get a sticker, very special stickers that were made for you all that say Nike Mom. Also want to let you know that from 9 to 12, we will have a moms only, no kids allowed section or venue where under the grit tent we will be serving muffins and fruit, and it's just a time for you moms to get together with other moms that have NICA student athletes. We will also be giving raffling 2 baskets that we have put together for the moms, so you want to make sure that you fill out a ticket to enter that raffle. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing is we will have 3x5 cards at the table near the announcer tent, where student athletes, you all will be able to do a 3-sentence message for your mom, and those will be read throughout the day on Sunday. So we're really looking forward to celebrating our moms this weekend. If you have any questions, stop by the registration table and I will be very glad to answer your questions. One other thing, we will be having a photo booth as well in the grit area. So that's what we have planned for Mother's Day, Brian.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Diane, and looking forward to seeing all of that on Sunday. Let me go back to the event flyer and talk through one more time changes for Sunday. I'm going to go to the raced schedule one more time for everyone. JV3 boys, the entire season, we have been used to JV3 boys starting the day. 9 o'clock start for them. That is not the case at Danville. JV3 boys, you are in wave two now, much later in the day. So, if you want to show up at staging 8:50 in the morning, that's fine. You're going to be waiting a while to do that. So wave one, again, all middle school athletes, and then waves two, three, and four, as shown on the screen. And just like Elise brought up, two different courses, about 4.3 miles for course one, which wave one will do. And that's about the same length. The last time we were at Danville that everyone raced, it's just a different course. We've taken some sections of Little Pisgah out and we've put a brand new section, Angler's Ridge Trail and Broken Arrow, into it. So about the same length for wave one. And then waves two, three, and four, about an extra half a mile of trail because we added the finger Little Pisgah back in. So it's about a 4.9 mile course. And there's been a lot of dialogue amongst the staff about the length of that course and whether athletes will make their earned lap cutoff time or not. And we've extended some of those times for those categories. And we think most of the athletes can make those cutoff times, but it may be challenging for some athletes. So we'll give everyone the heads up on that right now that for waves two, three, and four, a 4.9 mile course might be challenging for some head coaches. Pay attention to those cutoff times, make sure your athletes are aware of them. They need to get across that cutoff time to do all assigned laps for the race. But the reason it's called earn lap cutoff time is because you still put points on the board. If you don't make the cutoff time, you still qualify for points in your race. And that's fine too. Let me talk about the end of the day because this is our season closer. The podium ceremony is going to be longer than most, and that's because we're doing all of our end of season awards. So we will start mostly like we've done all season, recognizing our volunteers with some raffle prizes for who showed up for that weekend, but we're also recognizing our top 5 individual volunteers and the top 5 teams that brought the most volunteer hours per capita, meaning divided by the number of student athletes. You get a flag. Then we'll go through our middle school racers. We will recognize our series winners for the season, and then we will recognize our championship race winners. Again, this is a winner take all championship race. So the season results don't count for this one race. It's whoever is the top 5 in this race are going to be recognized. And we've recognized King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain all season just by like a shout out. But in this race, we will award medals for the King and Queen of the Mountain in all of our race categories. Then we'll recognize our Teen Trail Corps winners. Again, top 5 student athletes most hours and top 5 teams per capita with the most hours. Right about the middle of the podium ceremony, we'll announce our Trek fundraiser winners. You don't need to be present to win, but we'll announce who won the bike and the helmet and all the other sponsor prizes. Then we'll go to high school results, same thing. We'll go through the season winners. Then we'll go through the championship race, King, Queen of the Mountain, and we'll close on the Team Values Award. Those are the top 3 teams that showed the best performance in racing, Teen Trail Corps, and volunteers with those big feather flags. So a little bit longer than most. We hope everyone will stick around for that, but think it's important to recognize all of the excellence from across this entire level up season. And I'm pretty darn excited. We're closing out on event number 6. And last thing I usually mention in these town halls is weather looking pretty good for this weekend. The staff might be dodging a storm or two on Friday to get set up, but the weather looks gorgeous this weekend. We'll still do the weather call tomorrow morning. We'll put the word out about the decision, but right now everything looks pretty darn good for the weekend. Okay. So with that, what questions do you all have about Sunday and even questions about anything we've covered tonight? Michelle, how are we doing on the questions?
All sorts of questions. So the first student athlete question was how do point standings factor into placement for next year?
That is a great question. Can you say it one more time?
How do point standings factor into placement for next year?
I will say probably the same way they did this season, but we haven't determined that. So I'm going to give kind of a non-decisive answer about it because we typically decide all those things going into the next season. So that's the best answer I can give right now. But anyway, you're the first student athlete to ask a question. So we'll still give you the prize, even though it's probably a less than satisfying answer.
The second student athlete question, which this individual will have to let me know their name in the chat, asked if Kona Ice is coming.
Kona Ice is scheduled to be there. Whether or not they show up, as with any food truck, we'll see. But yes, they are scheduled to be there, Kona Ice.
Next question from another student athlete is, are remote controlled cars not allowed in pit zone or anywhere in the event like the camping area? And
Yeah,
question with flying drones.
Yes, remote controlled cars are not allowed anywhere on the venue. That includes things in the air. Our one videographer, FAA certified drone flyer, Kyle Haybecker, has been working with the FAA to get approval for him to fly, and he's not gotten that approval. It's really hard to do at Danville with that airport right next to us. So I don't think we'll have drones in the air at Danville, but Kyle's giving it his best shot. Hopefully he can pull it off.
Grady Sawyer asked how long the multi-lap course is.
Right now, we've got it estimated at 4.9 miles.
Bennett asked, how are we going to know where we are not allowed to ride besides the pit zone? I have not heard the answer yet.
Oh, that's good. We forgot to mention that in the venue overview. So pit zone is always a walk your bike area for Danville, and I will go to the venue map if I can pull it up. Where's my screen? Venue map. Is everyone seeing the venue map? Can someone give me a shout out?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this pedestrian bridge, and I'll emphasize pedestrian bridge, is a walk your bike area. We'll put some signs out, but that includes the stairs to the bridge, not riding your bike up or down. Those stairs is a walk your bike area. So pit zone and that bridge is a walk your bike area for Danville.
Clara asked where the KOM and QOM for this race will be.
I should probably not stop sharing my screen and the venue map. Who asked that?
Clara Jernigan.
Great. Yeah, Clara. So if you look at the venue map, start of that segment right here. So basically you come across the creek crossing, and whether or not you're course one or course two, it's after that finger portion. That starts, and then you come across the creek and climb up Camelback. The top of Camelback is the end. So it's common to both courses. That's the KOM and QOM segment. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. So right here, start, right here, finish. It's on the venue map with those little icons.
Dana asked for clarification about the rules for riding the greenway. Is it all right to ride for warm-ups?
Yes, the greenway is all right for warm-ups. Doesn't have to be coach led. It's paved. It's greenway. I would just say, as I always do, be careful. I actually witnessed myself a crash on the greenway. Two student athletes not paying attention to one another, and they crashed right into each other. So just be careful out there.
And I think that covers all the questions, unless Chris Novak wants additional clarification about call-ups for next season.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether this weighs into call-ups and placement for next season, this particular race.
So I can give you I'm fairly certain it won't, because it's a standalone. We'll use series points, which are done as of now to do that, Chris. That I understand the question now. Like that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I had several questions and I didn't have it.
Yeah, now going a level deeper, and I've talked with, some of the timing team about this. This race will likely count for category placement consideration. And those that have paid attention to this know that last year we changed category placement. We take every athlete's best two races, an average of that, determine what categories they go into for next season. And so I don't see a reason why we wouldn't use all 6 races. It's all data points. to determine where an athlete should be placed. So category placement, yes, this race would count. For call-ups, first race next season, I don't think we would use this one. Is that
Great.
fair enough?
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah. That's my sense. Don't hold me to it. But although if you give me an Oreo again this weekend, maybe that will be the answer.
I'll try to get Oreos.
I love it. Okay. Well, that took almost the full hour, so that's a good town hall. People must be excited about the closing out the season in Danville here. We'll keep the line open for a couple more minutes. Shell, you think we're covered in the chat window?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Well, I think that's a wrap. Thank you very much, everyone, for dialing in and looking forward to seeing everyone at Anglers Park in Danville, Virginia this weekend. Everyone have a good night.
If I can see Nathan Olander at the end of the call, that would be great.
Yes, sir.
Did you see my response?
Yes, I received it. Thank you.
No
I
problem.
forwarded it on to him. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, I have a question for you. This is Diane.
Hello, Diane. I hope I have an answer for you.
Yeah. Hey, do you think that we should maybe print some of the, oh my gosh, the forms that have to be signed to do the family and friends ride for anyone who forgets or didn't get the information that they had to fill out a form?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And,
Okay.
and me having a stack of them at the start line, even like, oh, I did. Here you go, fill it out, give it to me. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay. So we'll make sure we print some. And then also they could, if they think about it, like before the ride starts, they could come and do them at the registration tent too.
Yeah, that'll just make it, quicker for them to start their ride as I, hold them in place until I confirm that everything's good.
Okay. All right. Just
Yep.
wanted that.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, no, it's a good idea. Thanks for thinking of that one. Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot on this one, but hopefully everyone has fun with it.
Brian, can you hear me? This is Abby.
I can hear Abby.
I'm just wondering when we might know who has signed up, or if I need to just reach out to my families and ask them to tell me if they sign up for their friends and family to make sure I have enough coaches.
I think either Sean, do you think we can create a team and add head coaches to it, or do I just send a copy of the registration list maybe tomorrow night, Friday, to the coaches?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question I was answering. Someone else in the chat.
So yeah, Abby's like, hey, how do I know who signed up from Pisgah Rage for this family and friends ride? And I think either we create a team and add the head coaches to the team for family and friend ride, and they see it in TeamSnap, or I just send them a registration list towards the end of the week and go, here's your folks.
Probably send a registration list. I'm trying to think if I included a question about what team they were associated with, because that would potentially be a problem.
Unless you have all head coaches. Hey, you're all on the team.
Yeah.
I went through it just to see like what questions you asked, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, so I don't think we have anything in there about what team they're associated with, assuming that they were going to communicate with their teams that they were interested. So
okay. So I'll just send something out to my team, and hopefully they'll respond and tell me that they want to do it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's
we
something.
could have a lot of people. Yeah,
yeah,
we could have
that's
a lot of
something
people
to know for next time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have enough coaches.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Now, remember, it's just, adults don't figure into your ratios.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah.
I did not think of that. Okay.
Because they're adults. So.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so just the kids. Well, that'll make it easier.
Yeah.
If the adults come. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
All right.
In reference to the adults not counting, you still need the appropriate number of coaches for the kids, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Sean, how embarrassing. We wore the same shirt tonight. I didn't even notice.
We're twinsies.
Gosh. Wow. Well done. All right. There's still I think 19 folks hanging out. Does anyone have any Sean, do you still need to talk to Nathan?
No, he already answered me, and
Okay.
we're good. So
Yeah, sweet. Okay.